my god, hi. Sorry, I had a million fucking things to set up before. Okay, we're not watching Long Legs right now, and also why is that so big? Okay, there we go. Yes, it is working, I know. I don't know, like, it just, like, randomly decides when it's not going to work. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, it's not my birthday either. Forgot to change that. Nah, I'll say... Okay, we're working on the game today. Alright? We're gonna work on that. I mean, kind of I'm doing a whole birthday month on Fansly. Sort of. Sort of. But not... No, I don't do that. But anyway, hello. Sleep. Sleep would probably be the suggestion. I just took a shower. My stream is always this time, Monty. YouTube is literally always at this time, Monty. It has. Ugh. Yeah, did you like it? How did you guys like the editing on the clouds? I feel like it turned out pretty good. I finished all the stuff I had to do. I'm feeling good. I haven't finished all my website stuff, obviously, but that's just an ongoing project. I need to especially update the donation page. That's like the next thing I'm gonna be working on when I have a day set aside to work on the website. But this month I'm focusing on filming shit because it's gonna be Sanrio month. Also, the Sunday video this week will get posted probably Monday because I don't have it. I don't have one. I have not filmed shit because I took the last 3 days off. But yeah. So so much to do. Let's see. So we have a few Queen videos to watch. I forget which one. Oh yeah, we watched the one with the girl who's being framed for being a teenager. We watched that one last time, so that was like a standalone video, I'm pretty sure. So there's no part 2 or needing to watch, I don't think, so we can just watch any of the ones, I think. But yeah. So let me get my iPad up on the screen here. That's the first thing I gotta do, is get my iPad set up here. And then we can work on... So we're gonna work on... I don't know if we're gonna work on lore exactly, but we're gonna work on finishing what we started last time. I'll show you what we started last time, and then I'll show you the 2 we're working on, and then I don't think we're gonna finish this with enough time to do the next thing I'm gonna say, but if we do, for some reason, finish these very quickly, we will draw some stuff. But I think that's the plan of action. So, I have seen the new South Park episode. Oh my god. I can't believe Trump is fucking Satan. That's crazy. He's totally fucking Satan. What percentage of the website viewers are girls? Like my website, I don't have it break down between gender analytics, but I'd have to assume it's probably like my other analytics breakdown where it's like 5% girls, maybe, if that. It's usually somewhere between like 0 to 5% women on my content. It's like mostly men. 95 to 99 to 100% men. So yup. Yup. It's very good. Can I stream on Twitch and Kick? I could. I'm not right now. I would never stream on Kick. I would never stream on Kick. Like, no. You like the bop cam? The baby. Look at the baby. She's being a good baby. He's like, don't bother me. Oh, now you want the pets? Want the scratches? Then we have Soul. She's over there. What are you doing? What's she doing, puppy? Anyway. You've never heard of Kick? Oh my god. I wish I was you. Okay, let me pull up the Queen so I can see what videos we haven't seen of hers yet. Oh, we have the Uncle Red. Okay, we have the Uncle Red video we haven't watched. We have the killer interview. And then she just posted another one 4 days ago. So do we want to do Uncle Red? Let's see, that was an hour and a half. Stream goes until 1:30, so that means we've got 2 hours for stream here. So we can watch any of these. We'll have enough time to watch any of these. Wait, who got banned from Twitch? She had the chat from another stream on her wall. Oh, it's probably like a partner or something. I feel like they have rules against dual streaming or some shit. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. Anyway. Okay, so I say we either do Uncle Red or the killer interview. Which one do we think, chat? One, Uncle Red, which is a Chinese guy who dressed up like a woman, and he's not trans, dressed up like it's a cross-dresser. A devious cross-dresser fucks like 1,600 guys but secretly films them. That's why I'm saying he's devious, is because he's secretly fucking filming them and posting it online. That's that. That's what that one is. Sir, that's illegal. Sir, what are you doing? You cannot eat the trash, Mr. Kitty, sir. Yeah, you're being a little naughty baby. I know you do. Naughty kitten. Don't jump on my desk though right now. You're gonna go back to your, okay. Evil kitten. Anyway. So yeah, we've got that, and then we've got the killer interview, which is a two-parter. So which one do we want? The two-parter? We'll watch the second part in Teddy's stream probably. So 1 for Red, 2 for the killer interview. We have 2, okay. One is in the lead. Yeah, he's the giant kitten. It's because he's fat. He's very fat. Oh, wait, I can do polls. Ha 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 ha! Wait, hold on. I forgot. Okay, sorry. Forgot we're on YouTube. I'm so used to not having polls. Okay, good. Now I don't have to think about it. My brain is too asleep for that right now. Anyway, let me swap us screens here. Oh, munchie food. Munchie time. It's munchie time. It's munchie time. Look at his stance. His eating stance. It's a good eating stance. Soul, leave him alone. He's in his stance right now. He's doing his kitty stance. He's like, what are you doing? I'm gonna touch your beans. He's like, stop. Hi, sir. You're very cute, sir. Okay, I will not be saying words in a language I don't understand because I don't know what it means. So no, I'm okay. Thank you though. All right. Looks like Red Uncle is winning. But we'll see. Yeah. Dude, this thing it never wants to stay put. There. Now you can see both of the little evil babies. Oh my god. He's crazy. Watch out, he's crazy. He ate food, now he's crazy. Oh no, watch out, Bobos. He's crazy. Watch out, Baba. He's gonna attack you, dude. Yep. Hey! Bobby. Bobby. But also, you deserve that, Munchie. Oh, you're playing? Are you getting him? Are you gonna get the kitten? You wanna get that kitten? Attack. Attack the kitten. I did have a good birthday. Munchie is a boy. He's so fluffy, he's like almost as big as Misa now. What's it like being 24? Oh, being 24 fucking sucked. Past 25 is the best. Yeah, past 25 is good. Before 25, chaos. Mm-hmm. Oh! No, I'm not gonna lie. If anything, I'm gonna lie and say I'm older. I'm 40, actually. Thank you. Right? Like, as soon as my brain fully developed, I was like, oh. Oh. Peace. All right, hold on. Let me swap screens here. Okay, Uncle Red is still winning, so I'm gonna pull that up here. I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it and say Red Uncle wins. And then we got that. And that. Okay. Let's see. Which layover is the one meant for this? This one? No. Yes. No. Incorrect. Is it this one? Yeah. No. Wait. No. It's this one. God damn it. Alright. Move the iPad so it actually fits on the fucking screen here. What's going on? We'll do it like that. We'll do it like this so you can kind of see. Okay, but this is what I was gonna say. We should work on this. Should work on this. So we can work on this. Anyway, let me get... There we go. Perfect! Oh, not perfect. Okay, hold up. I need to make a background on this bitch so it hides the other shit. There you are, bitch. There we go. I have to move my little hi chat now. No, not you. Put it right here. Wait. Should it go here? Where should it go? I'll put it here. I'll put it in the notes section. That works. That works. Yes. Yes. Uncle Red is the old crossdresser that filmed his clients. Yes. Have I met any voice actors I grew up? No. Wait. I met the voice actor for, oh my god, hold on. No, that's the name, right? Nagisa. Yeah, Nagisa's voice actor. I was gaslighting myself. I was like, that's not his name. And I was like, no, that is his name. Anyway, I met Nagisa's voice actor. That's it. It's the only one I've met. I was like, wait, no, wait, yes, no, yes. I'm glad you also knew, so you couldn't double check. Okay. Dude, why is it? Hello? I know it's bright in here, but like, why am I so over? I'm washed the fuck out right now. I think it's just because, hold on, let me put the curtains down. It's bright as shit in here. Ooh, okay, that's better. Yeah, there we go. Girl, it's been like, how many years since he died? We still doing this? Thank you, Colin. All right. Let's do this. Let's go. I'm not gonna do a timer because you're seeing the video. So, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Boop. How's the volume?
Bada bing, bada boop.
The city of Nanjing in China is probably the equivalent to Chicago in the United States. Just in terms of population, you're talking about at least 9 million residents. Which means,
Christian,
theoretically, if somebody farts or sneezes on one side of Chicago, you would imagine that at least 8,999,990 people don't care and don't even hear it, don't even smell it. Maybe unless you're the mayor of the city or someone with 5 cans of WD-40 strapped to their chest and a lighter. It is very unlikely that one person's actions in a city as big as Chicago or Nanjing, China, you're probably not going to impact the whole city. July 2025. Something weird is happening in Nanjing. The ones who know about it and are talking about it online, they're all boycotting. I don't care that he died. That doesn't make his music somehow now good. Through Nanjing, like you would think that there's an outbreak of some sorts. They're talking about Nanjing online as if something incredibly dangerous, contagious, is spreading inside the city with the residents. No, but I'm about to cut you off. Some people online don't even want to come in contact with someone that's been in the city of Nanjing in the past year. These are people outside of Nanjing. Some people inside of Nanjing, nothing. They have no idea what's going on. They have no idea what people on the other side of the country or the other side of the world are saying about their city. Yes, in fact, there's this one guy. He posts online, and he's just saying something weird has been happening. Okay, so he was on the street the other day. He lives in the city of Nanjing, if you need some context, which really isn't that pertinent. Or so he thought. He was gonna go visit his uncle, and he didn't want to go empty-handed.
I don't know. Look at bro's name. I think he's 2 seconds away from trying to convert me to Islam.
Purchases the biggest watermelon that they have, which on second thought might not be the smartest idea, because now he's hauling this massive watermelon down the block, and a stranger stops him, literally smirks at him, and sneers. So what the hell is wrong with this stranger? Like, I didn't even bump into you. I didn't do anything to you. Going to see your old man?
That's crazy.
This guy online is like, I mean, I've lived in Nanjing my whole life. Strangers don't talk to each other. It's not like America where you make small talk. It's like everyone goes about their day. Everyone's busy. It's a pali type of hurry culture there as well. The tone is kind of malicious also, which is throwing him off. And it's so weird. Is he about to get jumped on the street for a watermelon? He responds, yeah. The stranger looks him up and down and shoots him. A look that can only be described as utmost disgust. Like if someone were to step on a cockroach barefoot in the middle of summer, and then half that cockroach carcass how old are you that you're like, play a copyrighted song on YouTube? That's what it looks like. And then the stranger just to YouTube? Off. Mr. Watermelon has no clue what this entire interaction was about, but it's all connected. Mr. Watermelon, the internet boycotting travel to Nanjing, and somehow even that's all connected to Nanjing gyms and fitness centers that are all seemingly at the same time on the brink of collapse simultaneously. It seems like every single gym in the city is on the verge of shutting down. Some of them are even trying to sell private training lessons for $13 for 3 sessions, and they're still not selling any. And if you start tracing, we actually don't like pedophiles in this chat. I know that might be shocking for you that this all starts because pedophiles think everyone likes them for some reason. 2025. It's the day that a person the internet has now nicknamed Uncle Red gets
Am I
arrested.
finally old enough that I'm
Because
scaring off
after Uncle
pedophiles?
Red's
'Cause
arrest,
that'd be really,
nothing and nobody is the
really
same.
great news.
How the hell is the entire city
amazing
impacted by this
development.
one man's arrest?
Sure,
it could
buddy.
be
Cope however you
the
want. You just
1,000+
admitted to being a
videos that
pedophile.
he has on Nanjing
So,
citizens.
you can't really
secretly
backtrack from
recorded
that one.
videos of random Nanjing residents during the most intimate moments of their lives.
we have to take...
It could be that, or it could just be that Uncle Red is kind of crazy.
Okay, I gotta copy that. And that. Okay, I'm gonna just copy it over to... No. I'm just gonna copy it over.
We would like to thank today's sponsors who have made it
So we
possible
can
for Rotten
reference it
Mango to
better.
support the National Immigration Law Center, one of the leading advocacy organizations in the U.S. dedicated to defending the rights of immigrants and their loved ones. This episode's
Anyway.
partnerships have also made it possible to
Pedophiles
support Rotten
get
Mango's growing
blocked.
team, and we would also like to thank you guys for your continued support. As always, full show notes are available at RottenMangoPodcast.com. A few very important disclaimers for
Like,
this
what the
episode.
fuck?
We had our Chinese researchers help assist with this case, as well as to help navigate a lot of the social conversations that are happening afterwards and just trying to navigate the social context of everything.
What
Today's
layer did I
case
put? Oh, it's
involves
over here.
mentions of illegal distribution of intimate moments without a party's consent, video footage. Today's case is also unique in the sense that
We'll come back to
it's
that.
going to be discourse heavy. So the crime itself is ongoing, but much of the conversation and the internet reaction has become part of the case itself. Like, you can't really separate the two. It's not one where I can be like, hey, so I'm going to tell you about the case, and then maybe a few little internet comments here. It's so embedded, you can't talk about one without the other. Otherwise, it feels like you're not getting the full picture of what's happening out there. So I'm going to tell you everything that's been happening in the effort to present all sides of the case. Just because I'm telling you what people are saying online does not mean that I'm endorsing what they're saying or trying to make light of a situation. But like I said, the discourse is almost becoming bigger than the case itself. And to ignore that would not make it go away. I mean, it's still there. Just because we don't like to hear certain conversations doesn't mean those conversations are going to stop or they cease to exist happening. So keep that in mind. Now, the biggest note to go into this case is it involves a male identifying perpetrator who, by most reports and accounts, seems to only portray themselves as a woman online to lure in straight men to engage in acts. So with the perpetrator's end goal being to secretly film videos. Our team had multiple extensive conversations about the best way to identify the perpetrator, and ultimately we decided, since there is zero public indication that the perpetrator identifies as anything other than male in any other context than when they're trying to commit violations for monetary profit, we will be using he, him pronouns. That said, we understand that there could be a slim possibility that the perpetrator is suppressing their gender identity since they may not live in the most progressive city in the world. There's no indication of that we found so far, but we just want to make it clear we are not intentionally, purposefully misgendering someone if that is indeed the case. It's just in this moment, with the given information that we have, this is the most respectful decision that we could make. Secondly, regardless of the perpetrator's identity, their crimes are their own and are not representation of any group of people. In fact, cases like this can perpetuate negative, queer-phobic generalizations. And if those are the conclusions that one comes to after listening to the entirety of this episode, I would like to advise them to visit the nearest emergency room for possible brain damage. Thirdly, there is massive discussion surrounding full informed consent. As of now, none of the men in the videos have explicitly consented to the release of their footage.
Thank you.
So keep that in mind. So with that being said, let's get started. Nothing gets people more violently riled up, in my opinion. I have never seen a group of people so quick to curse at each other, just like refusing to compromise, than a good old harmless conversation about who has better morals. It's the moral dilemma. It is the quickest way to get people close to you to scream at the top of their lungs, because if you refuse to kill one person, then you're intentionally knowingly killing 5 other people, so you're actually not a good person. However, because I am willing to kill one person, I'm a better person than you. I'm morally superior than you. But that's just the trolley problem. It's like the most
time flies so fast.
demure of all moral dilemmas.
It's already
There's a man named Jonathan Haidt, and he's got a lot of very uncomfortable moral dilemmas that people like to debate and familial ties with after long-standing fights about who's the better human.
I'm not happy about it.
Take, for example, a family's pet is killed outside in front of their house. They had heard that roadkill meat is very delicious.
Wait.
Yeah, this is a moral dilemma, okay? Family's pet killed outside, ran over by a car. The family had heard from previous conversations that roadkill meat is very delicious. So they bring in their family pet. Nobody is watching. Nobody knows the family is doing this. And they cook the family pet's meat and eat it for dinner. Nobody saw them do this.
For sure.
Did the family do anything morally wrong? Some will argue, well, it's gross. But that's not the question. Is it morally wrong? And then they'll say, well, I guess the pet is already dead and it's their family pet. So if anyone's going to be upset about the situation, it would be them. And it's not like they're encouraging other people by doing it. They're not posting it online. Nobody saw them do it. I mean, it's gross, but is it morally wrong? Jonathan then further asks, then consider this. A man goes to a supermarket once a week, buys a chicken, a dead chicken. And before butchering the chicken, he has intimate relations with the chicken, and then he cooks it and eats it by himself. He does not share the food with anyone. He does not share the kitchen with anyone.
Why
He
do
has
you
no
do that
young
to the
kids in the
chicken?
house. Nobody sees him do this. He is a single man who does this in his free time. The question
Why?
is it morally wrong?
Who is this guy?
He's he's an author. I believe he's a professor as well.
Got it.
And the question is
Culinarily wrong
not, is it
for
gross?
sure.
The question is not, would you do this? Do you want to be friends with Chicken Man? The question is simply, is it morally wrong? This is, side note, also why you cannot have philosophy majors over for dinner, because this would just end up in a bloodbath. Some would argue that this is an efficient use of natural resources. Others would say that there's a
I mean,
lack
you
of
could argue
respect
that,
being
I
shown to a
guess.
former living, breathing creature, which they would deem, personally, morally wrong. That's what they're saying. Then comes another moral dilemma. Okay, then hold that thought. So you think the act of doing this to a dead chicken, because that chicken was once alive at some point, is wrong, then I mean, you could also argue that you shouldn't be eating chickens, and
I'd
then the
argue
only
it's
people
'cause
that
it's
could have
gross.
that argument would be vegans. But if you're not a vegan, then how can you have that argument? Then comes another moral dilemma. So let's say a woman is cleaning out her closet. She finds an old flag of whatever nation you're part of, or whatever nation you have the utmost respect for, whether that be the American flag, the South Korean flag, whatever. It's a national flag. She finds it, she has no use for it, doesn't want it anymore, so she cuts it up into pieces and then uses it as a rag to clean her toilet. Nobody looks through her bathroom window, nobody finds out. She doesn't post it on social media as some sort of message to the youth. It's not a statement of any kind. It's just, well, I was either gonna A, throw it away, and it's mine, I can do what I want with my possessions. And I mean, isn't it better to reuse things than just throwing
You
it
could argue
away?
it's
Some
disrespectful,
will say
but it's
the
not
chicken is a
morally
no-go,
wrong.
but the flag is fine. But others argue that flags can hold very symbolic meanings
Morality
for a large
is
population of people, such as
subjective.
veterans. Perhaps
That's kind
even
of the
more
whole
so than the
point.
symbolism of a grocery store chicken that people will be eating regardless. Then others argue, just because we independently have our own views about something, does that make others morally wrong when their views are not the same, even if they're technically not hurting someone? Where does the morality end? When they start hurting people? Or just the idea, the concept?
No, because
But
some
who
people
comes
think it's
up with
morally
where
okay
that
to hurt people,
concept
so
is?
morality is
Side note,
subjective.
if you've ever had the
Morality
desire
is
to be the
inherently
very annoying
subjective.
dinner party guest, his book is really good. It's called Righteous Mind.
Is it filled with these questions?
Yeah, and it's filled with how his students respond, and it's just, I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, there's like a cockroach dilemma. There's
There's a
incest
cockroach
dilemmas.
dilemma. Not much dilemma around
Yeah,
that.
it
I'm gonna
even
be
goes
honest.
into how a lot of people will first. This is what he says in the book of. It's interesting because when you ask people these questions about these moral dilemmas, first people will be disgusted by the moral dilemmas, and you'll see it. And one of the first things that they do to justify their disgust, because they can't, I mean, maybe someone on the street, but when you're talking to a lot of like philosophy majors, it's hard to debate that some of these are morally wrong. Because
Yeah.
it's just difficult. They're not hurting anyone. Nobody's finding out. It's not a statement.
Well,
So what
'cause
they do
morality
is
is,
they feel the
again,
disgust
I've
first, the
said a few
emotion,
times now,
and he
subjective.
says one of the first things
It's
that
inherently
happens is they
subjective.
will find victims to justify their emotions, stating the
best
family who
way to
eats the
kill a
pet will get
cockroach.
sick,
True, that
or
is a
they're teaching
dilemma.
their children dangerous behaviors, or the children are exposed to diseases by eating the pet meat. He's like, who said they had children?
That is so interesting.
Others say a neighbor who is a veteran is going to see the woman cutting up the flag and cleaning her toilet. And if he doesn't see that, he's going to see it peeking out of her trash can filled with doo-doo. And he's going to be very sad because he fought for that flag. Jonathan is like, we never said anyone was going to see it. In fact, I told you, nobody knows that this is happening. This is happening privately. So people will create victims to justify how they feel upset about a moral dilemma, which I thought was very intriguing. But that's not the point here. There are other interesting moral dilemmas, a bit lighter. So the cockroach one, because I see that you were interested, so I'm just going to tell you about it.
Tell us
Okay.
the cockroach
A professor
one.
has everyone drink a sip of apple juice. And all of them take a willing sip. They saw it come out of the juice can and they take a sip. Then he announces, I have here in this container a sterilized cockroach. We bought some cockroaches from the lab supply company. The roaches were raised in a clean environment and they have been sterilized once again in an autoclave, which heats everything so hot that no germs can survive. I'm going to dip this cockroach into the juice. Now will you take a sip? Why or why not? No. Well, one could argue that probably dirtier things have actually been in contact with most food products sold within our country. We just don't know about it. This actually happens to be completely sterile.
It's
But the
because I
problem
saw
with
it.
moral dilemmas, and
Schrodinger's
it's so
cockroach.
interesting
I
because
saw that
they
bitch
also
go
did
in
one
there.
that
That's
was so
the
fascinating.
difference.
They got a group of students together. A ton of them were atheists.
The
So they don't even
knowledge
believe in any
ruins
sort
it.
of God or religion. And they asked, will you sign this piece of paper that I sign my soul over to this professor after my death? But if this contract is null and void, this is not a legal contract. And they present it in front of the students, including the atheist students who don't believe that there's an afterlife, who don't really believe that your soul exists in any sort of form or even conceptually after death, and they refuse to sign it.
Why? I
refuse
would
to sign
sign it.
Would you sign it?
I don't care.
Probably, yeah.
Right, okay.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm signing that bitch.
No, I don't know.
No, just be safe.
Yeah, I mean, just to be safe, I feel like, I mean, you would want a lawyer to look over it. No, at least, maybe. I would probably be peer pressured into signing it, though. Yeah. Would you sign it?
No.
You wouldn't.
No.
That's so interesting because you're not particularly
No,
religious
no.
or
Yeah, but-
superstitious
yeah.
or...
But I know it will bother you, so it'll just be whatever.
So the problem with some moral dilemmas is that once you find an answer to the first moral dilemma, it leads to another moral dilemma, and then another one, until you're basically in this black hole of moral dilemmas. And that is today's case of Uncle Red. This case has led to at least 15 different conversations and debates about the morality of not just the case itself, but also the internet's reaction to the case, and it feels like a black hole that we're about to get stuck in. So at first glance, there is this list. The list looks like the top 10 list of men from the city of Nanjing. It's just a collage of 10 guys, a close-up of their faces, and it's ranked 1 through 10.
I want it to be yellow,
If you
but I don't
see
want
the
it to be
collage,
yellow, but
it's
I'll
confusing
use this yellow.
because it has a little phrase accompanying each blurry photo of a man. Number 1 says, might as well guy. 2, Four Seasons guy. 3, Uncle Red Note Dreamboat. 4,
All of that
half bottle
was
of oil
to talk
guy.
about how morality
5,
is
TikTok
subjective, and
influencer
I think
sleep
her
early
point
guy.
in that was proving
6,
that morality
muscle man.
is like
7,
hyper
watermelon
subjective.
guy.
Therefore,
Number
people
8,
having
the milk
debates
guy.
on the morality of
Number
this
9,
situation is
black
highly
leather jacket
subjective.
guy. Number 10, sister-in-law guy. Michelle's fiance, and Michelle is a pseudonym, is black leather jacket guy. Number 9 on the top 10 list, which is kind of hard to forget for Michelle because every single day, every second of every moment, everyone in her orbit, in her social sphere, just keeps sending her links to the collage of photos. Everyone calls your fiance the leather jacket guy. Well, I mean, her former fiance. It gets to be so much that she actually posts online. I took the video and I questioned my fiance, and he went silent. I showed him the collage, and currently we have notified both sides of our family. I went to the hospital to get checked for anything today, and I'm still waiting for the results. We were together for almost 3 years. I really believed we'd make it all the way to the altar. Both families had met,
Rip.
they'd gotten along, and then the Uncle Red story broke, and I couldn't even trust my own eyes.
I mean,
all
girl,
the lies
he just
told
showed
me
you who
suddenly
you
felt
were
hollow.
with, at least.
I confronted him, and you just shrugged and said, let's part on good terms. I'm sorry. As if those words could erase everything. At that moment, every bit of light I had carried for 3 years in my life shattered. Uncle Red, I was left wondering, what exactly was I to my fiance? Really, Uncle Red? She posted a screenshot of a video of her fiance, well now, ex-fiance, sitting in a black leather jacket, sitting on the edge of someone else's bed. And that's where the top 9, like the number 9 photo was pulled from. And same with the other 9 guys. They're all sitting on the same bed, or they're all standing in the same room. Michelle apparently went through Leather Jacket Guy's phone, and he even had the chance to come clean. One of his friends messaged him, "Do you want me to tell your fiance, or are you going to?" He responded, "Huh? I don't think that's necessary." "What do you mean? You're engaged and still doing this? You don't have shame?" Netizens are commenting under Michelle's post, "I'm so sorry, but your fiance was pretty good looking too, and I could tell. This happened twice, didn't it?" Another one reads, "All I can say is he was pretty handsome, so this makes it even more confusing." Others say, "It's actually more confusing that he's only ranked number 9 on the top 10 list. I'm so lost." Another one in the top 10 list is a popular influencer on Douyin, which is China's TikTok. His videos have gone viral in Asia at least a few times solely for the reason that he's attractive. One of his videos, there's just comments that now read, "You deserve better than Uncle Red. Why didn't you meet me before you met Uncle Red?"
It's just a thought.
So who the hell is Uncle Red?
Thought experiment.
A middle-aged man allegedly catfishing straight men into coming to his house to have intimate relations. Uncle Red poses as a woman online, and he will invite these straight men over, and all of their intimate reactions are secretly recorded. It has been reported by many Chinese mainstream media news outlets, and then later debunked by police, but nobody believes it, that about 1,691 men fell victim to this illegal recording scam. Uncle Red appears to have a very strict routine prior to live streaming. It's a ritual, if you will. The first is finding the palest color foundation readily available for human use, slathering it all over his face, and pairing that uniquely with the reddest of red lipsticks, always remembering to overline his lips. It's a rather low-effort, minimal routine that does create kind of a striking appearance. Now, side note, the filters on Douyin are good enough that not much more is that necessary.
This reminds me so much
of his
of
process
the
includes putting on a dress shirt, a silky blouse usually,
the uncle who dressed up as the girl who did motorcycles, who rode around on motorcycles.
A wig. It's a wig. It goes down a little past his shoulders. He's got bangs covering his eyebrows, and it's a unique combination of design choices that are confusing, mainly because Uncle Red decides the day that he joins Douyin, he's actually going to go.
But yeah, it's not even catfishing because it's like he wasn't really hiding it.
Really?
Yeah, that's. I mean, the attire is interesting. He never wears anything provocative, ever, and it doesn't work, at least not in the traditional sense. Uncle Red is, for 3 years, on Douyin. The mass audience has no clue who this person is. Nobody knows Uncle Red until he gets arrested. But that's not the end game. It appears that Uncle Red joins Douyin for the purpose of getting DMs from men, which I say with respect for half the world's population. Lots of respect, lots of love. It's typically something that you can achieve even if you're aggressively doing nothing. Naturally, Uncle Red starts getting lots of DMs from men.
But like, what kind of thirst trap is he posting at that point? You're gonna get into that?
Yeah, so the thirst traps are not thirst traps in the way that you would typically imagine. So when you think thirst traps, you're thinking about costumes and dancing. Yeah, and like lots of skin. A lot of guys are attracted to Uncle Red's softness. It's alleged that he uses a voice change filter and he knows how to talk to guys. Sometimes he would take calls from his viewers, and one male viewer, seemingly familiar with Uncle Red already, is asking, "You still haven't slept yet?" Uncle Red responds, "I just ate lunch. How can I fall asleep?" "Oh, why aren't you sleeping yet?" I don't know. I just haven't slept yet." "Then can I ask you a question?" "Go ahead. What kind of question is it?"
Right, it is serving ante. Like...
Sure, go ahead. "My husband's private part is a little longer than my middle finger. Is that normal?"
I don't get
how this is working.
That's the extent of his thirst traps.
Got it.
That's
like,
the conversation that wins a lot of guys over for Uncle Red. Side note, Uncle Red does not appear to be married, at least not anymore. He was once married to a woman, but they divorced. He has not since remarried, nor does he have a husband. But a lot of people like the idea that this is a woman who is not intimately fulfilled by her husband, and a lot of men want to say, "Let me show you what men do." That's
Got
the
it.
thirst trap.
I see.
Yes. Now, Uncle Red also does not have a good wig because at one point during a live stream, it does slip off his head, revealing that not only does his foundation only go up to where the bangs cut off.
Wait, I've seen that photo. It's only the face. That's why, right?
I mean, but it's like half the forehead. And he just has like a very short buzz cut hairstyle, which looks perfectly fine.
so funny.
But even so, Uncle Red's DMs start filling up, and it's rumored that Uncle Red, at least 1,691 men came to visit Uncle Red at his personal residence for intimate relations. So why is this a Rotten Mango episode? One of the first titles to come out of this incident. Well, first of all, let me tell you why it is a Rotten Mango episode, because I've gotten hundreds of separate emails. Hundreds of emails while I was so deep in the Karen Reed case, and everyone is telling me about Uncle Red. And so I looked into it and I thought, okay, maybe it's not going to be the most complicated mind case because my mind was wiped. And then the minute that I got into it, it's just the moral dilemma conundrum. It made my brain spin because of how many different debates were taking place online.
Also, just like how viral this is on TikTok and then in all of Asia. Like every single country in Asia was.
Yes.
It's crazy. Like everyone's talking about this.
It's suspected that Uncle Red's bang, wig, pale skin, red lipstick, maxi skirt is going to be the #1 Halloween look in most Asian countries this year.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So one of the first titles to come out of this incident, and again, this is not me agreeing with the wording of this title, but like I said, it's important how the news is presented in this case. It translated reads, Nanjing 60-year-old man with a wig and a long skirt successfully attracts over 1,600 straight men. So it's a very strange title, and accompanying it is a collage of a bunch of guys' faces. And they don't look like mugshots, considering half of them are looking down to the side, all different directions. Some of them are shirtless. Others look like they're in brief flashes of pain. Others look like they're in brief flashes of pleasure, which you can't really tell the difference. And it's a very weird visual to see so many random guys' faces in a collage. I mean, the background is so consistent that you have to consider that the idea that the pictures were all taken in the same place is a valid theory. And they are. All of these pictures were taken at Uncle Red's personal residence, where, like I said, almost 2,000 men have reportedly come to visit Uncle Red. That number will later be debated, but we will get to that. For 3 years, nearly every single day, Uncle Red has had visitors. Live stream fan after live stream fan knocking on his door, and it's kind of difficult to pinpoint who watches Uncle Red's live streams. I feel like if you sat at the corner of his apartment building and made bets with the elderly neighbor who sits outside on the plastic chair every day, you would lose money because sometimes it's a younger college kid that shows up hoodie and a backpack. Other days it's a slightly older, fitness-obsessed looking muscle dude in a muscle shirt. Other days it looks kind of like a nerdy English tutor. Other days it looks like a middle-aged balding man. The only reason that you would really know that they're here to see Uncle Red is that they do not come empty-handed. The speculation online is that Uncle Red's house becomes a local legend through word of mouth. Uncle Red does social media, gets a few guys in the messages, but these guys then turn and tell all their friends, you need to visit Uncle Red's house. It's basically a steal, you know, what you get and what you give. It's not even comparable. It's basically free. All you have to do is bring a small gift, a household necessity, a bottle of peanut oil from the grocery store, that's $3. A single watermelon, which depending on the season in Nanjing is $2 to $5.
I don't think it
or
would.
A packet of
I think
milk
you can do it.
that you can get on
Peterman,
sale, whatever.
You can
Just
do it.
bring a bag of spinach if you must, which someone does. Just bring something to show gratitude for the host. And most likely what you get in return is what netizens refer to as, quote, full service. Undoubtedly, a lot of these guys find this to be a practically free exchange. I mean, a lot of the stuff you can find in your own freezer. They put in zero emotional effort, no dates, no paying for dinners, no relationships, no strings attached, and they don't have to pay for the services because Uncle Red is willing to do it in exchange for a half-filled Dasani water bottle of peanut oil. In fact, a lot of streamers will barely give their top donors the time of day unless they're dropping thousands of dollars on them, let alone meet up with them in person. But Uncle Red's fan service, if you will, is so good that Uncle Red will take anyone in. These are how netizens are saying they think that this whole scam started, this whole crime started. Uncle Red won't even make fun of you for buying a $3 bottle of oil and taking half of it and giving Uncle Red only half the bottle of oil. Instead, Uncle Red will guide the men to the tiny thin mattress in the corner and spend about 30 minutes with them. Now, up until this point, all of this is consensual. Like, these men are coming to Uncle Red's house.
There we go.
They're not being forced to stay there. They're not being forced to partake in any intimate relations or activities. So all of this, like, no part of this so far is a crime. Some of these men may have realized that the market price and what Uncle Red are offering is kind of a steal. It's a good bargain. Uncle Red's apartment is difficult to find, but even then, still a bargain.
There we go.
It's a basement unit, and it's dimly lit. Kind of has a bunkerish feel to it, which is what netizens say. I will say it's very sparsely furnished, just a collapsible table, mini fridge, a bed, and a built-in closet with a sink next to it and a bathroom off to the side. It's not exactly homey, but some of the guys have to turn on their phone flashlights to even find the door to Uncle Red's unit. And we know this because a lot of them are captured on the video walking in with their phone flashlight on. But it's seemingly worth it. Because right when they walk in, Uncle Red will place pink slippers in front of them. Sometimes Uncle Red will even wash fruit, cut the fruit, make small talk, make the guys feel comfortable, and then they get into the festivities for free.
Now I can
Well,
actually
for
see what we're doing
the price
here.
of a watermelon. But there is a saying that a lot of people use in marketing, which is, if it's free, that means you are likely the product. Because in the middle of Uncle Red's apartment is a tiny little hole. And hiding inside that tiny little hole is a hidden camera. And when these men leave, Uncle Red pulls out the SD card, starts importing the footage to go through. Even in illegal businesses, there seems to be some sort of quality control because Uncle Red will sort through the footage, cutting out the, quote, boring parts and the not exciting parts, trim down the hidden camera footage to just the highlights, which includes the men walking in with the grocery store gift in their hand, awkwardly saying hello, Uncle Red saying hello, hugging them, and then the opening line for almost every single
I think he's getting
guest
the
is
money
along the lines
and
of,
filming
"Did you
out
wash
of it
yourself
more
first?
so than anything
Go
else.
clean yourself." They will then be escorted
I think
to
the
the
main
bathroom
reason
like
why
a
I
stray
think
dog,
that and that
where
he
you hear the
doesn't
water
actually
turn
care that
on,
much
they
about
rinse themselves,
cross-dressing is
walk
look at the
out,
effort
and
he's
there are
putting
pink
into it.
slippers awaiting them. From there,
Almost
the camera
none.
captures them.
He's like hardly putting
unzipping,
effort
receiving,
into cross-dressing.
and then
Like, that's why I feel
none
like
of
it's
their
mostly
faces are
about the
blurred.
money.
None of their identities are hidden, and Uncle Red is selling these videos,
Like, he's
this
barely
massive
even trying to
collection
hide
of
it.
videos in Telegram group chats.
Like, he is,
News
but
breaks
just
of Uncle Red's arrest, and
via
suddenly all
word
of
of
Nanjing and
saying,
China are
"Oh,
kind of
no."
going into a meltdown. The only reason I even first heard about this case, I mean,
Totally
I
not
did start getting
cross-dressing.
hundreds of emails.
Like-
But the very first time I heard about this case, my husband's sister came over, and she was trying to explain the story, and it looked like it was fundamentally changing the wiring of her brain. Like, she was losing her mind at not only the case itself, but also the internet's reaction to the case. Like, it was just everywhere. She said you can't even go onto any Chinese social media platform without this being the main conversation. Like, if you don't know Uncle Red, you don't know half the jokes people are making, you don't know what half the people are talking about. You could post a video of your dog, and in the comments there will be references to Uncle Red or jokes about Uncle Red somehow fitted in there. It's like a cultural phenomenon. The more she knows about this case, the more questions. Like, for one, how did Uncle Red even get arrested? July of 2025, a man walks into the police
Great
station in
question.
Nanjing, China, to report very simply that his private moments were secretly recorded and they're circulating online. He knows where the videos were taken, he knows who took the video, and he's going to lead the police straight to her. That's about all he says to the
that one's
police.
already in the right
Police head
spot.
to the basement unit of Uncle Red, they knock on the door, and since Uncle Red was not expecting any company, Uncle Red does not have his live stream fit on, and they realize, okay, this is a little confusing because the man who reported it to me said that this was a woman in a bunker type style basement unit who took these videos, but now I'm looking at a middle-aged man. Maybe it's his wife, but it's not, it's him. They promptly arrest him. And they realize that Uncle Red has likely made over $35,000 selling these videos in these group chats.
Yeah.
Which
And
could
that's why
explain
he's
why
doing it.
Uncle Red perhaps did not have a deep yearning to receive expensive gifts from the men that came over. The whole...
Yeah.
Okay, this is where I, again, get a little bit confused by the internet reaction because I will say selling of the videos online is reminiscent to other cases that we've covered, such as Enthrim. I don't know if it compares in severity, and I don't think it would be appropriate to compare the severity of certain cases. However, the business idea is similar in the sense Uncle Red will join a Telegram group chat or start one. He will charge $20 for a video in the group chat. After spending $20, if you want to see other videos or more videos, instead of receiving further payment, Uncle Red will ask that you invite 3 people into the group chat that will be willing to spend $20. So it seems like a very well thought out business plan. It's a referral program for new customer acquisition, which what can only be described as Uncle Red's blooming illegal video criminal enterprise. July 5th, 2025, authorities in Nanjing released a brief statement that they have put an end to said illegal video sharing by Uncle Red. Within hours, news of this arrest starts trending, which would make sense if Uncle Red was a famous live streamer that had just gotten arrested, but that's not the case. Because within hours, Uncle Red's arrest is at the top of the trending list. 89 separate media outlets have started reporting on the case, and in just 3 hours, 350 million people have clicked on any article regarding Uncle Red, someone that the entire country had no clue even existed two seconds ago.
300 million clicks?
350 million clicks in 3 hours. Interestingly enough, this is where things get weird and controversial because people have very wild reactions to the whole case. First, people are doing the math.
Actually, I guess it is.
1691,
I'm gonna have
that's
it
about
set
2,000
up.
men gone to Uncle Red's house in 3 years. That's about 1.5 men per day, with speculative reports estimating that there's about 5 terabytes of footage out there, which equates to about 3,000 hours of footage.
It's more of like,
and that's not him even. I mean, he's got to lure these men somehow, so he's talking to people online. Let's say it takes about an hour to at least talk to someone to the point where they can come over to your house and do those intimate relations.
Because the Ponzi scheme requires
this is like a full-time
taking
job.
money from
Most of the videos are also the same, which depicts Uncle Red
with an idea of
oral activities on the guest, and then usually unceremoniously Uncle Red will turn around without taking off any clothing, just lifting up the back of his maxi skirt, and then just like backing up into the man in question. Now, this is the part where I report to you all of the internet reactions regarding Uncle Red. And again, am I saying that these are appropriate reactions to a situation like this? No, that's not at all what I'm saying. I am just here to tell you what people have been saying online.
It's more like a pyramid scheme, but again, a pyramid scheme.
The types of memes that have come out of this, just so you understand the full totality of this case. The initial reaction across China seemed to be a mixture of shock, rage, and confusion.
I would say it's more like a referral program because you're not really promising that they're going to get something
on TikTok that are just
that they're not getting
at the collage of men's faces, praying that they don't see a boyfriend, fiance, husband, dad,
videos or
whoever. Some even go online to report, hey, so I did find my dad in one of the thumbnails, and I don't know if I'm supposed to tell my mom. I need advice.
What do you mean? Tell her.
Others say, okay, well, at least yours is kind of a more simple situation where you should probably tell your mom. For me, it's different because I found my colleague. A lot of people report finding their colleague or brother or someone that's like distant enough that you definitely don't want to confront them with it. You have nobody else to talk to about it, and now you're just stuck with this information. One comment reads, I was here for the drama, but then I found my brother-in-law in one of those pictures. And we thought he was working, but turns out he was at Uncle Red's house, and he showed up with a carton of milk, so that's very awkward. On Chinese dating apps right now, and again, is this appropriate? That's not up for me to decide. I'm just letting you know. The biggest red flag that a lot of
They're not
Chinese
making a
women
cut of the new
state
people's
is that
money.
if
It's
a man
like,
writes that they are from Nanjing,
they are like
even though
in
it's a
a
massive city with 9
type
million
of
people,
referral
they think it's
program,
inappropriate.
but like it
One
is just a
netizen shared her
referral
dating
program,
profile,
I
which
would
reads,
say.
requirements for boyfriend. 1, not from
Right?
Nanjing.
Who
2,
wouldn't
must
tell
not
their
have been
mom?
to, stopped by, or traveled through Nanjing in the recent years. The comments under her post are agreeing with her, writing, yeah, I'm not going to date Nanjing men in the foreseeable future. I'm also going to abstain from those who have even stopped by Nanjing for work. Other netizens expressed just sudden disinterest in men completely, writing, I've just been uninterested in men these days. When I look at them, I just feel like all of them have slept with Uncle Red.
God damn it.
I don't know what exactly that means. I don't know if it's the fact that 1,691, you get it. But another one writes, does anyone understand my pain? When I walk around Nanjing, because I'm from Nanjing, I just feel like every guy I see, I just picture them with Uncle Red instantly.
That might be a you problem, I'm going to be honest.
With the consensus being on many Chinese platforms that the biggest diss that you can throw at someone is telling them that their husband or father is from Nanjing. there have been lots of memes that have occurred from this case and this situation. I mean, you know, when you travel to a new city, there is a TripAdvisor must-eat list on there. Well, on there, the number one must-eat list is a 38-year-old man, which, side note, a lot of initial reports stated that Uncle Red was 60 years old. He's not 60, he's 38 years old. But it is must-eat 38-year-old man.
Damn, he looks old as hell.
And
that is a rough 38.
The Red Gate banquet list goes viral. People have given nicknames and created these AI videos. A lot of people have dubbed Uncle Red. And again, this is for, if you look up this case, you're going to see a lot of these references online. And I'm not saying that these are appropriate, but a lot of people have dubbed Uncle Red Nanjing Zero online, which I was thinking, okay, there has been discourse that we're going to cover in a second about perhaps there being not enough usage of protection and things that can deter you from getting an STD.
Honestly.
So maybe they're calling him Nanjing Zero because they're trying to make some sort of joke or some sort of meme about him being patient zero, and he's like passing on things to other people because they're just all doing it willy-nilly, like all 2,000 of them. But I came to the very interesting conclusion that zero in China refers to bottoms.
Yes.
And one refers to tops, and Tiffany and I, my sister-in-law and I had a very uncomfortable conversation where she was like, okay, so let me explain.
What's
and it
funny
was
is Tiffany didn't know what top
God
and
damn
bottom
it.
means. She actually only knew what 1 and 0 means.
Yeah,
So it's like you have to double translate what top and bottom means to her, and then she's like, oh yeah, that's 1 and that's 0.
And then I had to double check that this was not like an offensive term in China. And then she was like, no, she was showing me these dating videos of guys who are like, oh, I'm a 1, and then it's like thirst traps. So I was like, okay, it seems like a normal thing that they talk about. But that has become another meme. And there has been, aside from the chaos and discrimination, it's not even just stopping at men from Nanjing, but also fitness men. So remember the 1 through 10 ranking that there was? Those are the top 10 men that netizens find the most interesting and or appealing from Uncle Red's guest list, if you will. And they have been ranked. I'm not even going to go on to what it's like to rank victims of these intimate videos being leaked, but
I would argue they're not,
and these have been circulating, and everybody has been
all
referencing
victims.
them.
I bet
Number
you
3
anything,
on the top 10 list for
some
Uncle
of
Red
them
is
were
a pretty
part of
famous
that
fitness
group and
influencer
wanted
on
to
the
be in the
app.
videos.
Red Note.
I bet you anything, some of them
And
were
it's
in on it.
relatively easy for
Like,
netizens
there's
to connect the
no
dots,
way
because
all of
even
them
when he
didn't
went to
know.
go see Uncle Red, he's wearing this black Under Armour shirt with a big white bull on the front and a pair of Adidas Ultra Boosts that he
Like,
always
totally
wears in his
possible,
fitness
but
videos,
also
and he has a
I
very
feel
distinctive
like
look. And
with
after
how
these
public
videos
he was
leaked
about
online,
it,
he changed one of his social media bios to just
and how many people were
I've already
probably in
filed
that
a police
group.
report. My life is a mess, and I'm planning to leave Nanjing for another city. Stop sharing the leaked footage.
I feel like some of them
Then,
probably
ranked
were in
number
on it.
2 out of the 10 is someone netizens have dubbed the Four Seasons man. Because a lot of netizens, after this news broke out, they actually, it's like the Barbara Streisand effect. It's what happens in a lot of crimes like this is people will go out and seek the footage afterwards. It draws more attention to said footage, and people have been piecing together who is who and what is what. And I will say some netizens do say we have to do this because a lot of these people are not going to come forward. A lot of them are married, a lot of them have children, a lot of them have
there's
other
no
partners
way not
that may
all
not
of them,
know that they're
like,
visiting
there-
Uncle Red and they
I-
want to get tested,
like,
or may
there-
not know
with
that they're
that
having
many
other
people,
intimate relations. So that's kind of been
that
one conversation of why
publicly
they're scouring through the
sharing
videos.
and
Others say
trying
it's
to
just
recruit
for
people
fun,
for
which
the
is
video
a very morally debatable dilemma
group.
that we can go down. But there is one guide called the Four Seasons Man,
There's no
and it is
way.
because he has been seen in 4 different videos, and it's in each of the seasons: spring, summer, fall, and winter. And you can see in his attire, in one he is wearing full-on winter gear, thermal puffer jacket. Summer, he's wearing lighter clothes, and that man is visiting Uncle Red all 4 seasons. Then in first place, so a lot of the 1 through 10, they made the top 10 either because they're attractive, like the leather jacket guy that cheated on his fiance, or because of the unique gifts that they brought, i.e. Watermelon Man. But the number 1 place is I'm already here, might as well. And this has actually turned into a very famous phrase in lots of countries in Asia. That is what this man has been dubbed online. Netizens came up with this name because reportedly in the leaked video, it appears that when he gets to Uncle Red's house, he realizes that Uncle Red is probably
This
an
one
uncle.
is a
So Uncle
9
Red
out of
goes by
10.
Sister Red online, and so he gets there and he's like, okay, I don't think this is Sister Red. So he starts confronting Uncle Red,
10
asking,
out of
are you a man
10.
or a woman? Are you a man or a woman? And this is going to be another moral dilemma that we're going to go down, and
Then
a lot of people
mystery.
have been having debates about it, but right now, pause on that. He's asking, are you a man or a woman? Uncle Red lies and says, I'm a woman, I'm a woman. He does not believe him. He's like, I don't believe you. So then finally, Uncle Red tells him, well, I'm going to call the police if you keep harassing me and asking me these questions. And he has this moment, reportedly, in the video where he thinks about it.
And your
He
age
ponders it.
is-
And then he decides, you know what? I'm already here. I might as well. And the next frame of him that netizens have clipped from that video is of him in likely a moment of pleasure. So it's now become a meme, again, wildly inappropriate. Nevertheless, I'm just reporting on what's happened. A meme shows a screenshot of the video where you can see him pondering, looking very pensive. And then right after, right under it, it shows him looking up at the ceilings with his hands resting on his hips. And he looks like he
that's
is
the
enjoying the
other one, me
moment.
too.
And it says, I'm already here. Something doesn't feel right, but might as well.
Yeah, in Chinese, like 来都来了.
Oh.
Really viral.
These have gone very viral, and pretty quickly everyone found out who the might as well guy even is. He works as a teacher from one of the elite Shanghai kindergartens, and if you're wondering, a lot of people actually travel to Nanjing to meet up with Uncle Red.
Oh.
Yes. So the kindergarten that he works at, to go there,
He
you have
used to
send your
work
child
for
there, you have to pay
elite kindergarten.
$22,000 a year for kindergarten to learn how to count to, I don't know, 26. It costs $22,000 a year. But I digress. The most appalling revelation, however, is that he has a wife and children. So he quickly deactivates his accounts. Everyone thought that he was just going to disappear off the internet, focus on his personal life. But no, not long after, a new Douyin account pops up with who only netizens can describe as being the doppelganger of this man posting workout videos in the similar fashion of the might as well guy before he deactivated his account. So comments start questioning him. Hey, did you, just delete your old account and start a new one with a fake name? He has since vehemently denied it, stating that you must have the wrong guy, which the comments read, dude, it's totally you. Same shoes,
God.
same tank top, same everything. Way too recognizable. You got the same height, same build, same everything. He too has a bit of a buff build and typically liked to post his workout selfies and shirtless photos on social media before everything blew up, which has now cemented this joke in a lot of netizens' minds that if you post shirtless workout selfies, then you remind everyone of Uncle Red's type, which are young, buff dudes. So now, under random fitness influencers' videos, there are comments that read, hold on, let me check my dictionary first. And the new term dictionary means the collage of men from Nanjing. 1,000 men pictures. Another one reads, please put your shirt back on, we're not in the mood these days. Another one reads, show
I do
this
feel
Uncle Red
so
yours
bad
type.
for the guys
Another
who
one
like
says, what number are you
actually
for
got
Uncle
tricked
Red?
though. Like I feel
Another
so
says,
bad for
brother,
them.
please stop showing off. Everyone is trying to
Their
find
life
out
is
which one you
over.
look like. Another reads, either put your shirt on first. Currently, we feel nothing. The moment we see someone flexing muscles, all we
Also, I
can think
feel
about
bad
is
for the
whether or not
random
you've kissed Uncle
influencers who
Red.
had nothing,
Or
like
another
they're
one that
not
simply
involved
states,
at
"Let's not
all,
talk about
didn't
whether or
see
not you
him,
are
and now
popular.
people are
First,
like
you need to
harassing
tell us
them
if
as
you've
if
been
they
to Nanjing."
also saw
To which
him.
some netizens find
What?
the whole social discourse very confusing,
that's so
and they
weird.
comment, imagine being a fitness guru right now.
Yeah.
They write, quote, overnight, the thirst trap men watched their skies fall down. It's said that if you post fitness content and you're
I mean,
from
not
Nanjing,
wrong,
you're
though.
almost obligated to add in your bio, have never seen Red Uncle. So,
Like, that's not
example,
fair.
there is an online user, a fitness guru from Nanjing called Chestnut Loves Spinach. That was his username.
spelled
Now
that
it's
right?
Chestnut Loves
Yeah.
Spinach, parentheses, I swear I've never seen Uncle Red, end parentheses. So it's become a huge thing,
Like, that's not fair,
and
bro.
people are
Come on.
still making memes out of it. So there's this one incident, including a foreigner, and that incident has since gone viral because when Uncle Red sees his private parts, Uncle Red... It's just interesting, like, the amount of discourse that has occurred from this case is vast, and it's vastly different depending on where you look. So for these people, they're saying this is almost like a social experiment and we should treat it as such. And a lot of netizens have psychoanalyzed each video and each reaction to Uncle Red's videos. So for example, when this foreigner walks in, people say Uncle Red has finally solved the debate of if size matters. Because Uncle Red puts both of his hands out gasping and says, whoa, it's huge. And after they were done, Uncle Red paid him $14 for the experience. And the netizens state that even the foreigner looks confused and doesn't really appear to know what to do with the cash, with the $14.
Like, why am I being paid?
And then just to add more complexity to things, there are now AI videos that depict industry leaders visiting Uncle Red, including Jensen Huang of NVIDIA. I think it has to do with the fact that Jensen Huang, tech founder, has an obsession with black leather jackets. Which happened to be from Tom Ford and probably cost lots of money, but that's like his Achilles heel, and it made him one of the more viral AI Uncle Red parodies in China, where he's coming to Uncle Red and giving him like an NVIDIA chip. Trump is also one of the AI videos. So people have created Lego sets for Uncle Red's place, which shows Uncle Red and men having intimate relations and a line of people waiting outside, waiting to get in. Some of them are holding watermelons, bottles of oil. Some netizens comment it's not the most realistic, stating that there's too much oil because a lot of these guys would only bring half the container of oil. Yeah. Others point to the pink slippers, and they've made memes of this pink slippers with zoomed in pictures of it saying, no one feels sorry for the slipper. It has been worn by over 1,000 people. Others have gone to recreate Uncle Red's, quote, iconic look by donning a wig with bangs, throwing on a mask, silky blouse, and a long skirt. And I will say, you know what this discourse is reminiscent of? Again, I'm not comparing severity. I'm just comparing crime happens discourse that is so big and almost all on the same level of dark humor. It reminds me of all the baby oil jokes.
It does
where
remind
it's
me
like
of that,
the discourse is almost bigger than the case itself, and it's generally on
it's
the
like it's funny, but
side,
also
and not the I'm gonna take this seriously side. So that's kind of what it's reminiscent of. So you have people recreating Uncle Red's iconic look, that's what they call it, by throwing on a mask, silky blouse, long skirt. There are fashion tutorials on how to achieve Uncle Red's makeup. Some clubs have even started adopting the Uncle Red memes with giant screens inside the club that read, anyone who is late with their round, dodges their shot, or doesn't focus on drinking is going to be sent straight to Uncle Red's house. That's what it says. There's just been a lot of reports and discourse and online conversations about the fact that Uncle Red was able to get so many men to come visit them. And in one video, according to reports, a foreigner is using an app. So foreigners will come, Uncle Red will use a translation app to even talk to them. There is nothing barring any guest from coming in and having intimate relations with Uncle Red. Uncle Red seems to be open to anybody. And they will be using this app to translate the conversation. And at one point, the foreigner pushes the phone towards Uncle Red, who is talking into the phone near the foreigner's face. And netizens believe that Uncle Red has very bad breath because the foreigner keeps looking away, sneaking in breaths of fresh air. And at one point, he just straight up covers his nose with his hand. But the main comment reads, the way he's gagging and covering his mouth when Uncle Red is talking. To which the next comment reads, but he still didn't leave. Do that. And that is where the nickname that Uncle Red is an absolute manslayer comes about. And a lot of memes have spurred from the fact that netizens joke Uncle Red is eating better than them. They state that a lot of the men showing up to Uncle Red's apartment are young, good-looking, well-built guys that have a lot of people. A lot of people would have dated them. So why did they find Uncle Red instead of them? That's a huge conversation being thrown out. A new meme is where Uncle Red is using his tongue to try and pick out food that is stuck in between his teeth. And the words across the meme are, I'm eating better than you, sister. People start creating these AI videos of Uncle Red giving lectures, dating advice to women on how to capture, quote, good quality men.
I think it's
with the AI video showing someone who kind of appears to be Uncle Red in the same apartment, saying things such as, today I'm going to teach all my sisters how to get high quality household goods.
首先，我不要房，不要车，也不要彩礼，一个西瓜，一包。
It's basically someone got a cat and their mom didn't want a cat, and now their mom dresses up the cat all the time, and it's so cute.
哪怕3秒钟，不要夸他们很棒，提升他们的自信心是聪明女人必须掌握的技能。
Third, you have to be proactive and make the first move.
It's gotta be a plan.
But the truth of the matter is, no matter how good looking a guy is, when he is hungry, he will still eat trash. Unless he's very rich, then he will only eat Michelin star food. Sisters, follow Uncle Red to learn more. It's never too late to learn. Another Uncle Red lesson reads, Uncle Red teaches that attracting a man doesn't require thirst traps. A face mask, long skirt, long sleeves, and bangs are
getting
sufficient.
dressed up. It's
Some
so
netizens
cute.
have called this a Black Mirror episode in real life. Others have called it a real life study.
Yes.
Studying
That's
what?
how you
We're
spell
not entirely
lemon,
sure
thank
yet,
you.
but a study of something. If you go through Chinese social media, there are pages of threads and threads of online netizens breaking
She's
down
so
different types of
cute.
discourse that is spurring because of the Uncle Red situation.
And then she
One of
sings
them
it.
is breaking down the types of gifts that were brought to Uncle Red's house by these men, and Uncle Red's reaction to these gifts. Some think that Uncle Red's
It's
always
so
positive, always
cute.
thankful reaction is the most intriguing part of this.
You're
Others
also
think
cute,
that
sir.
the gifts that these men choose
Very
willingly is more insight
Cute.
on the psyche of humankind.
She does have a bindi.
They break it down.
And a little
Some
nose
men have
ring.
come
It's
empty-handed.
so
It's been
cute.
reported that Uncle Red never specifically demands anything to be brought to him, but these men bring stuff out of courtesy, and it's kind of awkward to go
Oh yeah,
empty-handed.
when she would
However,
never.
some
But
men
also,
do. The others,
there's a video
all of
where
these
she gets
gifts are
taken to
just
the
like
vet, and you
random
can
household
tell
necessities
that,
range
the
from
difference.
Food
She
products,
loves
like a
getting
single
dressed
watermelon,
up. She
packets
clearly
of milk.
loves it.
I mean, you would think that some of these netizens analyzing the gifts are doing dissertations, myself included, I guess, dissertations on this topic because they've broken down the types of milk that were gifted to
Also,
Uncle
have you
Red.
guys
Milk is
seen,
one of the more popular gifts, and almost every single
have you seen
time,
baby
all
corn?
these men picked out the
Have you seen
cheapest
baby corn?
milk, the cheapest
Yeah,
brand of
baby corn
milk,
is
the
so
cheapest type of
cute.
milk, the cheapest kind of
I
milk,
love
the
all of the
cheapest,
cats, all
cheapest
the
milk.
TikTok cats.
There's one brand in China that is known for having milk that is cheaper than a bottle of water. A bottle of milk is cheaper than a bottle of water. That's the brand that almost all of them went with.
Kind of alarming.
Yeah,
It's
the
a
milk was
wobbly
still
cat,
considered
his
a
little
top tier
kitten.
gift on the gift analysis hierarchy, with tissue
feel so bad
paper
for
being
baby
on the
corn.
lower end. Almost all the men that brought tissue paper would bring
walk.
like a small packet of tissue paper, like a
Well,
3-pack
anyway,
little
you can. You just
Kleenex
can't walk
packet,
well.
but they would buy the cheapest one-ply tissue paper that if you were to try and wipe water off your hand, it would stick to your hand and disintegrate into white fluff all over your hand.
so
How do netizens know
tiny.
this?
He's
A
just a
mixture
little
of personal
baby.
experience, and according to some netizens who have personally viewed the illegal footage, they state that after one man gifted the one-ply tissue paper, another man came over and used it to wipe their private parts, but the tissue paper disintegrated, leaving tens of little pieces of tissue paper on their private parts, and it is reported that this man spent quite a bit of time dusting it off of himself while Uncle Red just stood there watching and waiting. Another man brought a bag of fruit
Alright,
for
we're
Uncle
gonna
Red,
draw
but apparently
a
on the way, on the
plant.
journey, on the trek to finding Uncle Red's place, he got so hungry that he ate half of the fruit.
Like, what do you mean a half? Like half a watermelon type of half, or just like a bag of apple? He
Yeah.
ate half a bag. Okay.
But the top tier gift, the most expensive gift being cooking oil. One man was so stingy that he bought a bottle of cooking oil, and he decided that he wasn't going to give Uncle Red all of the cooking oil, so he got a Dasani water bottle, filled that up with cooking oil, and brought the Dasani water bottle of cooking oil to Uncle Red's house.
Or it could just be leftover oil that he has at home.
Yeah. Another man brought one of the more valuable gifts. Some netizens have argued it's almost heartfelt, which is
Okay.
a fish.
I'm making
A
like a
fish that the
gem
man caught
flower.
himself. Uncooked, still attached to the fishing wire. Just like a live fish from the river.
He caught the
And
fish?
Uncle
Okay,
Red's
that's kinda
response in
eats,
his
I'm not
soft
gonna
voice
lie.
was an encouraging, "Wow, you were able to catch such a big fish." Some joke that by this rate, after 3 years, Uncle Red should be able to open up his own grocery store, and people have created memes of photoshopped images of Uncle Red in his own grocery store. It is to the point
Please,
where
that's
people
funny.
say if you're a Nanjing local, it's best not to walk around with a single lone watermelon, a carton of milk, or a bottle of oil. And that has also led to a lot of
God damn
deep
it.
analysis on the men. There have been okay, so the moral dilemma, it's tenfold. So first of all, the moral dilemma is this an appropriate reaction that the internet and society can have to a situation like this, where everything is okay up until Uncle Red illegally films these without consent and then releases them online.
Yep, that's
Clearly,
the problem.
that's a very bad crime. These men are ultimately victims, but is it okay to have this type of reaction? That's the first moral
that's the
dilemma.
same reaction
The
that was had for
second
the
moral
Diddy
dilemma
case, so-
comes in the fight of a lot of guys and women are fighting in the comment section. So a lot of girls, they are making jokes about this case. And they're saying, you know what? Because I feel like there are lots of crimes
I feel
against
like a lot
women
of the
where
girls who are
men make jokes about
like,
it. I mean, take the Diddy
distasteful jokes.
baby oil
a lot
situation,
of them, I feel
for
like
example.
that comes from insecurity, though, because it's like
made,
they're like, well, I can't get any men, but Uncle Red can get all these guys, and they're not even ugly.
And
like,
so it's been
I think
like
that's
this
where a
back
lot of
and
it
forth,
comes from.
almost
Is
like
they
a
are
mini
jealous
gender
of Uncle
war
Red.
at times. It's been really intense. And then there's also been conversations of why did all these men even go to Uncle Red's house? A lot of men have decided to take this as a teaching moment for women, and they are telling women it's because Uncle Red gives off energy where he will support men. And it's because all of these feminist gold diggers are just looking for Lamborghinis and not cooking oil. It's why women can't get any of these young straight men, and Uncle Red is getting all of them.
And men just want someone who will feed their ego. That's why Red gets them.
Itself.
Yeah.
That goes
I saw
both
one.
ways.
It was like the girlfriend was like, I want a new iPhone, and then he flashed back to
you're
Uncle
very
Red
needy,
buddy.
only wanting a Apple. And
Yeah, so one netizen breaks it down of Uncle Red's allure, and he says, Uncle Red's videos actually sneak in a whole crash course on how to treat men. The second a guy walks in through the door, Uncle Red greets him like an old friend, not with a stuck-up, like, what do you want? Why are you here face? Which, like, I don't know anyone who does that, but okay. A second, yeah, the apartment is decent at best, but it feels cozy, like a home. 3, he even washes fruit, hands it over. Even for a casual fling, he gets treated like an honorable guest at Uncle Red's. 4, he takes charge to initiate physical conduct instead of just laying there like a dead starfish.
Yeah,
He's
a lot of
fully
girls are
engaged.
also really
5,
homophobic.
when a couple of guys get overwhelmed
So,
and get performance anxiety down there,
that.
Uncle Red doesn't roll his eyes or pile on pressure.
Like,
He eases the awkwardness
ew,
and gets
they're
them
with
back
a
in the
man?
game. 6,
I don't want
he
them
has
anymore.
thick
Like,
lips.
I don't think
One
they
netizen
wanted
agrees,
you,
saying Uncle Red has
Queen.
proved to women that men are not actually picky.
kind of the whole
But a
thing.
lot of women have a lot of things to say about that. Obviously, with one comment reading, I want to thank Uncle Red for
He's
getting rid of
basically
so
a
many red
hostess.
flags
Like,
for
he's
us.
literally
And
just
they're not even
stroking
talking
their
about
ego.
the men
That's
in the
the
videos.
whole.
They're talking
that's
about
the whole thing.
people
Like,
saying things like this about
men,
Uncle Red.
if you
So
want
it's become
women,
another moral dilemma.
treat them
One
like
netizen even comments, his voice is gentler than 80% of Chinese women, which I'm telling you, Chinese women had a field day with that comment.
stereotypical Disney
Another one
princess
comments,
movie.
Uncle Red
That's
reflects
that
the
easy.
emptiness in the Chinese man's
Be
heart.
nice,
Their wives are too
be
fierce. At
considerate,
least Uncle Red is
do
submissive.
things for them.
Another group of men are just fully outraged
Don't
women are not
objectify.
outraged
Boom,
at this situation
easy.
because the victims are
Girls,
men.
if you
Stating
want
that
to get a
women
guy,
would have been more outraged
placate
had the
their
victims
ego.
been women. And women are agreeing,
All
saying,
the time.
yeah, but
Just
when have you been
placate their
outraged
ego.
last time?
Oh,
the list
no.
of victims were
It's
women.
not small.
Like, men are
It's
never
so
outraged.
big.
It's
It's
women
actually
being outraged for
honestly,
women. And
it's
now
like
the men are the victims.
I think you
guys will
measured
be
it
outraged.
wrong.
We're
I
tired.
think it's bigger than that.
So that's
honestly.
been another whole collective
feels a lot bigger than that when
discourse of,
it's in me,
why
like-
are women being held to greater, higher standards than men, and why do
Easy.
we have to be the emotional outrage factor for every single crime that's ever been committed if men don't do the same for women? So that's been a conversation. A lot of women are also expressing frustration that a lot of men are using this to teach their girlfriends, wives, and random internet women lessons on how to be more generous and less demanding in order to get a man. There is also a debate online, a completely separate debate, of whether or not Uncle Red disclosing or not that he is a man to the male guests is a violation of consent or not. With people debating online, if they don't know that Uncle Red is a man and they are catfished under the impression that he is a woman, is that a crime in and of itself? Or is that some sort of moral dilemma in and of itself? I think the conversation is tricky
I
because when
wouldn't.
it comes
It's
to disclosure
dangerous,
of genders,
however.
usually I'm on the side of people that have not had gender affirming surgery will usually, for their own safety, disclose to their partners
Even if you
prior to
have
intimacy.
had
And also
surgery,
because they even
you
state
usually just
preference for certain
disclose, hey,
equipment
I'm
has
trans
no correlation
before we
to
fuck, by the
any
way,
sort
just
of
so you don't
homophobia,
like hate crime
transphobia.
me out of
sometimes
nowhere.
you're just not attracted to certain body parts. And so you want to let them know, like, hey, I might have a body part that you're not attracted to, so let me tell you before we get started. However, Uncle Red is not a member of the trans community, and this is clearly not a normal situation. Uncle Red's main objective here is to profit off these hidden camera videos. And side note, that's another moral dilemma of, like, he's genuinely perpetuating homophobia and transphobia through this case.
He is.
So it's not good. But the fact that he's not disclosing that he's a man, I mean, it's up for debate. A lot of people are debating whether that goes against consent.
I don't expect
Many
anything
netizens
else
have
from
gone through the footage and sorted these men into 3 different categories. The
They
first
tend to
group
be
being
shit
a
like
group of
that.
men that do not ask Uncle
Like,
Red about
obviously
his
there's some
gender, likely
cross-dressers
not
who
even thinking
aren't,
about it. They have intimate
so
relations,
many
and
of
because of the
them
way
are
Uncle Red lifts up
just
his skirt and very quickly moves
more
things along,
transphobic than
they may not have even noticed anything about what equipment
like
Uncle Red possesses
stereotypical
down there.
transphobic
With some netizens
people.
arguing, just because the men don't ask doesn't make it less deceitful. Some saying, well, they didn't know, so it doesn't matter. But then some are saying, maybe if it wasn't for the videos being released, because maybe if they didn't know, it didn't matter to them, they didn't ask, Uncle Red didn't tell them, and then they had these consensual intimate relations, that's fine. But then now these videos are being posted online without their consent, and then add the element that we still live in a society, especially in Asian countries, where there is a lot more homophobia that can actually, I mean, even in the US still, even in Western countries, that can ruin your life, that can take away your job, that can do all of these things. Does that make it less consensual because of the video element? I mean, you could go down this entire rabbit hole, black hole for like 10 years. And then you have a second group of people from the victims list where they discover that Uncle Red is a man and they don't care, with a few even reciprocating oral activities. There's no debate there until you get to the illegal videos. And then you have the third group of people that have their suspicions where they straight up ask Uncle Red, like the might as well guy, and he lies to them. There's one video where a man starts interrogating him, like, is that a, and he flat out lies. Uncle
Like,
Red
I don't
is
get
like,
why he would
ridiculous,
lie,
you're seeing
though.
wrong.
It's just crazy.
And from there, some of these men will run away. Uncle Red does not hold them captive, but still, that's not saying much. And then others are staying and just pushing through the activities. Netizens are arguing whether or not straight up lying is a violation against the men. If the answer is yes, it is a violation, then the next argument dilemma is, then what about the ones that continue to stay afterwards, even though netizens claim that you can see on their faces that they don't believe Uncle Red? Is that still a violation against them? Is that not a violation?
I
People
feel
are
like
saying
you have
it's
to
just
ask
very
them.
confusing,
I'm
and I
gonna be
think
honest.
that everybody has a different opinion about this case. Some are saying you can't have these debates
Like, you
without
kinda have to
bringing in
ask
the
the victim,
illegal filming and
did
releasing
that
of these
feel
videos factor.
deceptive
because
to you?
maybe if they knew the whole world was going to find out about it, they would
Did
have
you
asked.
care about
maybe
that?
they wouldn't have
Was that
stayed because
important?
maybe they're not homophobic, but they're scared of being outed.
Like,
maybe they genuinely thought that Uncle Red was a woman. Like, it's very confusing.
Go
Yeah.
away, you
It's like
fucking
a
weird
moral
Connie.
conundrum, I guess, is how people describe it. And then there is the morality of doxing the victims. So there has been a lot of debate of, would this have happened if the victims were women? And okay, I will say one thing, which is when we do a lot of research for these cases, I think it's a really good conversation of like, 2 things can be true at once. I think male victims, especially when it's crimes, like crimes, especially when the perpetrator is a woman
make this
and
look
it's a
a
male
little bit
victim, they
nicer
do not
in
get
the
taken
render.
seriously. However, I don't think we can always say, would this have happened if the woman was the victim? Because, I mean, there's so many cases where women are the victims, a lot of cases where women are the victims. They're laughed at, they're mocked, nothing happens, they get injustice. So it almost insinuates that if you're a female victim, you're gonna get justice.
Yeah, like,
everyone's
no
gonna
one
stick up
gets
for you, which is
justice.
not the case at all. So I think 2 things can be true at once. However,
Well said,
this
Queen.
I might agree with, because there has been a lot of social media discourse about the titles of the videos that people are re-releasing these illegal footage videos under. So a lot of these websites have taken these videos and started creating eye-catching titles. For example, one reads, "Buzz cut, anxious guy, brother says nothing, just keeps taking off his
I
clothes.
do think
Looks
it
like
wouldn't
he's
get
getting
passed
ready to
around
fight."
as much if it was
Another one
female
reads,
victims.
"Milk guy
I do
knows
have
Uncle
to
Red
say.
has been working
I
hard
don't
taking
think
care of so
that
many
shit would
people,
get
brings
passed
milk to help Uncle
around
Red recover." Another one just reads,
as
"Done in a
much,
minute."
and
Another
people
one,
would be okay
die-hard
with
fan of
it.
Uncle Red, returns multiple times.
Like,
Another, "A carton of milk and a packet of tissues in exchange for Red's private time." Another, "Watermelon
right,
butler
like,
brings
dude,
coolness
I'm
to
not
Uncle
gonna.
Red's scorching hot summer.
I've
Who
said
wouldn't love
multiple
such a
times.
thoughtful
I'm
man?
not saying
some
a
people are
phrase
saying if
in
these
another
were illegal
language
videos of
that I don't
women
understand.
that were taken without
I don't know what
consent,
it means.
would
I don't
they have
care
been released?
what you say it
But
means.
then you have
I'm
some
not
women
saying it.
fighting back, and they're
A,
saying
I can't pronounce
actually
it.
they would have,
B,
and they
I-
would have created titles like this.
I don't want to.
But what's crazy is it happens
Like,
so often.
nor.
It actually doesn't make the news, and that's
Yeah.
why you don't think it happens.
You know, literally, as we speak, there's a huge Anthroom case in China that's happening at the same time.
Oh, I
But-
do think I got some emails about that.
Yeah, which everyone's talking about this.
So it's like just when you think, okay, that's a good point, then someone will come and say, no, it's because you're just unaware, because when it's a female victim, it happens so frequently, it doesn't really make the news unless it's a massive scale operation. So it's been this huge back and forth.
Yes, but that could be said about both
one of the main topics being who defines
neither
victim?
of them make the news unless it's big scale. It
Because a
happens
lot
to
of people
both
are
people
also saying
frequently.
a lot of these men, they're here to take advantage of someone. They're
I
here
watch
to take
enough
advantage
news
of Uncle
that
Red, and yeah, it's consensual.
Actually is
but like,
even making the
they're
news. It's just not
perfect
prime
victims.
time. It's not
Others
going
are arguing,
viral.
a lot
Therefore,
of these
you
men
don't
got
think it's
caught
happening.
cheating
But
on
it
their
is
wives.
on the news.
A lot of these
It
men have
is,
families.
Like,
a lot of
still
these men
happening
have
from both
girlfriends,
aspects,
fiancés.
like,
so are they a victim?
stupid.
If they came here to do something bad and then something backfires, is it karma or is it victimization? That's been a conversation
Exactly.
online. I'm not saying that's my conversation. And some people are even saying that the meme culture around this case is a lot. People have started creating anime business cards. So you need to do like the character. It's like it gives you a rating for. It's like a video game. Not
Are
anime,
you
like
talking
a video
about
game.
like Pokemon cards type of?
Kind of, but they have, it's like a thing now where you do it business style as well. So it's almost like characters in someone's office building.
Okay.
And you describe their personality and you rank them by appearance, EQ, IQ,
Appearance.
overall ratings, stuff like that.
Okay. Oh, got it.
They do stars, and then they have like a cartoon character that they've drawn out of these guys from the video. And so, for example, one is nicknamed Strong Work Smell Guy, which is a term for in China where you're just overworked, exhausted, stressed out, and you carry around this scent of work with you. Like you just never can escape the idea that work is very depressing and everyone can feel it off of you. He comes over to Uncle Red's house. The two of them have their intimate relations. He wraps up rather quickly. Uncle Red asks him for $138, to which he responds, "My wife has all the money. If you want, go ask her." And then he runs off. He has his own little character card, and people are ranking him like 1 out of 5 stars. Others have described incredibly intense psychoanalysis of people's visits to Uncle Red's house, with one netizen post reading, "This guy never cares about hygiene and always complains a lot. He always looks guarded, looks around carefully, doesn't even want to wash up for Uncle Red. He hates the way Uncle Red looks. He only talks about how he feels, and he uses and trashes so many tissues. It's a blatant disregard for others and their belongings. He's selfish, seems to hate Uncle Red, but it's all a facade because he's come back multiple times and this is a reoccurring visitor." Then another one gets a card, and his name is just character number 2, Stingy Chubby Guy. It reads, "Came empty-handed, bargained while doing the housework, didn't cooperate well, only did part of the quote chores and left in a hurry." Another one reads, "Fruit Uncle. He's very warm and kind when he visits the elderly." Parentheses, Uncle Red. "He brings fruit and gives him a big hug to show he cares. He's also hardworking, so he does the chores. When he leaves, he'll even take out the trash. He's really amazing. We are also moved." Then another one. "This guy has a hot temper, is very straightforward, but the contract is already signed. He's already here. He will fulfill the agreement. At least he keeps his promises."
Baby lemon.
Or another one that reads, "Thermal pants guy. Whenever he comes in for a
reaching for
meeting,
more
he wears
coffee,
the
but I'm
same
out
brown
of
outfit
coffee."
with thermal pants. Every time he talks about the plan, he's very supportive, saying encouraging things like, 'If you do well, you'll get a bonus.' His ability is pretty sharp, and he seems to enjoy discussing the plan. He shows a strong willingness to work together and collaborate." Then you have people under these saying, is this actually appropriate to make for victims of crimes? And then people will fight back and comment, well, are they really victims if they're cheating? If they're putting their family at risk? Because there were reports coming out stating that these men from Uncle Red's videos,
You can be a victim
a lot
and a terrible
of the
person.
videos,
Like, what?
you can see sometimes that they will find certain fluids around their private parts that seem to be suspicious looking, and it seems like they have blatant disregard for their health, for their intimate health. And if they're married, if they're dating someone else, they could be spreading these things on unknowingly to people that some people on the internet believe are the true victims. Some people are saying the only victims really in this case are the wives and the girlfriends that are dating the men that are going to Uncle Red's house.
So
it
you
was
can be a
briefly reported by the
victim and a
media that 11 of the men
perpetrator,
from
by
Uncle
the
Red's
way.
videos were tested and positive for HIV, but the police quickly shut that down, saying that's nothing but rumors. However, they later state there are like 3 people that did test positive for HIV. However, it's unclear if it's connected to Uncle Red. In fact, they cannot release if Uncle Red has any sort of contagious disease, STD or HIV, because that would be a violation of his privacy, which a lot of netizens are upset about because they're like, a violation of his privacy? He violated so many people's privacy. Release that information.
Yeah, and then like, you know, all the people that's connected, 1,600 people connects to thousands of people.
Now, the authorities have stated that the 1,000+ number is a gross exaggeration. However, netizens don't believe the authorities. Netizens are like, I saw the pictures, I saw the videos, I'm believing the rumors. It's a lot of guys. Maybe it's not 1,600, maybe it's 1,500, maybe it's 900. Does it matter? It's a lot of guys. That's what netizens are saying. People are also annoyed because the government can't do anything. However, they are opening up their health center for a free HIV test if you feel like you are in fear of contracting something.
Oh, because of this?
Yes, in
Oh,
Nanjing.
really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So they do think
making them have
there
to
could
open
be
up
a
a
lot of
fucking
people
health
that
center.
needs to get checked up.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeesh.
So some people have used this as, see, these men are not victims. In fact, the only victims are their families that are at home or their wives and their girlfriends. Others are saying, well, they are victims because they're at risk and Uncle Red probably didn't tell them. But then the other argument is, well, they knew what they're going when they're going there. Like, they're not just going there to show up. So it's just been this carnival ride loop around of debates. Side note, some netizens also believe that this case is weeding out the not-so-bright men from the bright one. One boyfriend proudly texted his girlfriend that he bought a self-test kit at home since he had recently gone on a business trip to Nanjing, and he proudly stated that he tested negative. And he was very proud of him. Yeah, he proudly stated that he tested negative, and he was very proud of himself for thinking ahead.
Is he stupid?
And his girlfriend's response was
would you
obviously
need to
very
test?
cold and detached. And he says, "You're so cold. I'm safe, baby. Are you not happy?" To which netizens think this is the epitome of an empty mind. That was probably up to no good. With one comment reading, "A business trip? So frightened you took a test immediately? If he didn't cheat on this business trip, why would he need to take a test to begin with?
Yeah.
It's not like you catch it through the air."
Wow. The girlfriend posted that?
Yeah.
Wow.
And with this HIV scare that's happening, a lot of people in the LGBTQIA community are upset because it's like
really this again?
Are we really going to do this again where we are creating these homophobic, fear-based situations of the correlation between gay men and HIV? And it's just, I can see how infuriating that is. Specifically because I do think Uncle Red got off on duping straight men into believing that he was a woman. I think that was also part of the quote allure for selling these videos.
Yeah.
I think the people that were purchasing these videos, that was a huge element. It's very annoying. There have also been conversations on whether or not this is a comparable situation to Bonnie Blue. Bonnie Blue, if you don't know,
How is it at all comparable?
I think she's based in the UK. Is she British? I'm not sure, but she's an OnlyFans model who recently broke the record of sleeping with like 1,000 men in 12 hours in a day. 1,000 men. And she got a lot of hate. I mean, it made news internationally. People hated her. Versus
I don't get why
Uncle
everyone gives a
Red,
fuck.
I think he's almost become a meme to the point where I don't think people hate him per se. They just make fun of him. I don't think there's this like deep-rooted, I despise you, you're setting humanity back. Whereas that was the case with Bonnie Blue. And
Which
there
is
has been this debate of, wait, why is a woman who does it consensually, with men that are consensual, with men that know everything about her, and she's very proactive about STD health and preventing STDs, why does she get hate, but this man who's doing it is almost become a legend? Then a lot of guys come in and they're arguing, oh, well, you know why? It's because in Bonnie Blue's situation, the real victim are women, because women feel like she's perpetuating negative stereotypes about women and creating this stigma that women should be open and available for men and are obsessed with just like anyone on the street. Whereas in Uncle Red's situation, he's only victimizing men. And so these men are saying that's why women don't care.
It's so fucking stupid.
And that's why
I don't
the world
understand
hates
why
Bonnie
anyone
Blue,
cares
because
about
the
it.
ultimate victim is probably Bonnie Blue and other women. And whereas for Uncle Red, it's just men.
Like, oh,
but then
actually,
there's been a lot of pushback
women are
on
victimized
that as
by
well.
women
There's
having the
even been
freedom to choose
pushback
what they
on
do with
Uncle
their
Red's
pussy.
name. So a lot
Like,
of Chinese
okay, maybe
female
we should
netizens
take
are
back
really
the right to
upset
vote
because
then
initially,
if you have
he
that
was
fucking
called
opinion.
Uncle Red. And
Like,
then
oh, you want to be
people started
victimized
calling
by
him
someone
Sister
having freedom
Red,
to choose?
or like Red Auntie.
Cool,
Also,
cool.
just
Have nothing
for
then. Have
clarification,
nothing.
some
Fuck
people
off.
call it Uncle
Like,
Hong.
Yes.
Hong. So Hong is the Chinese word for red.
Yes.
That's why
So
people call
annoying.
it Sister Hong, Uncle Hong. It just means red in China.
And a lot of Chinese female netizens were upset, and they were stating, "Stop calling
Like,
him
unless she's doing
Sister
something
Hong."
that's
Like, there
illegal,
are
I
zero
don't
women
fucking
involved. This
care.
is a man's crime. Don't drag
And
women
if
into
you're
it.
oh,
Like,
but
this is a
technically
man
prostitution's
targeting men, harming men, and why do we have to
Don't
call
care.
him a woman? And I think
Like-
it has to do with the fact that he never states that it has nothing to do with the trans community. It genuinely just
so
seems like he
annoying.
did this because it's part of the allure, it's part of the videos, it's part of maybe a kink that he has, is to trick straight men. So a lot of people were upset about that in China, and they're saying, it doesn't make sense why we have to make him Sister Hong. With a lot of female Chinese netizens fighting back and saying, if a woman had genuinely secretly recorded and leaked footage of her sleeping with over 1,000 men, sold the footage without the men's consent, and profited money off of it, she would have been eaten alive online.
Lol.
But Uncle Red has become a meme. So
Oh,
this is
prostitution's
not a
legal
woman.
in the UK?
Like,
Well, there
this
you
is
go.
Uncle Red. He's never identified as a woman outside of committing these
There you go.
crimes. So what are we doing here? That's been a huge argument. Others are arguing Uncle Red did nothing wrong. Except
Like,
for
it
the
really
videos.
just comes
They're
down to
saying
women are
having
jealous of Bonnie
with
Blue.
men is not wrong.
Like, it really
as a
just comes
man.
down
and
to
everyone's
that.
like, wait, but we know that.
Like, you're jealous
So
because
that's
she
just been,
doesn't
like, a
feel
weird
shame like you
conversation,
do.
But some people are commenting justice for Uncle Red.
And she probably
he did
fucked your
nothing wrong.
boyfriend.
Those men wanted it.
And it meant nothing to
I
her,
mean,
but
I
it
think
ruined
that
your
has a
life,
deeper
and now
meaning
you're like
than
all
just
sad
the
about it
words
and
on the
shit.
screen,
But you're the
though,
one who dated a
'cause
piece of shit.
those men
Like, that's not
wanted
her
it.
fault.
That sounds like a
It's not your
play
fault.
on when female
Not her
victims
fault that
wanted.
you dated
With
a piece
one
of shit.
netizen also writing, I think apart from the secret
Like,
filming and
she did
cheating,
not
there's
force
nothing to
them to
criticize.
cheat on you,
There's nothing wrong with
actually.
being gay, being bi, but there's nothing wrong with dating
Like, I
or
hate
hooking
the
up.
shit
There's
of,
nothing wrong with
like,
liking Uncle Red's appearance either.
Oh,
Which a lot of
my
people are like,
husband
well,
was in
now
a
you're
Bonnie
just
Blue
boiling it down to
video.
this like random
Like,
argument
and
that
that's
everybody already
Bonnie's
knows.
fault.
It's like,
How
of course nothing's wrong with
exactly?
being gay. We already
Why
knew
are you
that.
bringing her name
But
into
this is like a
this?
really weird
My
situation
husband
to be like,
cheated
there's
on you.
nothing
There
wrong
you
with being
go.
gay.
That's what happened.
When everyone's
Shut
like, yeah,
up.
we know there's nothing wrong with being gay.
Yeah.
Like, you're the weird one for thinking, like, this is your coming out moment of, like, there's nothing wrong with being gay. Like, no, we've been there. We all know. Did you just catch
Okay,
up? So
let's
there's
see.
been that argument of people fighting back and forth. And then some people are saying, people who are saying that are just trying so hard to be woke that they're like, no, guys, this is a victimless crime. And
It's
then some
definitely
people
not a victimless
it's just
crime.
been such a fight.
That's crazy. Yeah.
There have also been some memes that some people find funny, some people find very offensive, but some netizens have gone on to Photoshop Uncle Red's face onto Buddha statues.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Buddha statue that
Saw that.
depicts Uncle Red standing, resting both feet on the heads of two young men, and in one hand is a watermelon, in the other hand is a bottle of oil. Others are making cakes of Uncle Red's face with words that read, "I wish you have 1,691 men pursuing you this new year." It's supposed to be a celebratory cake. And so people are like, that is crazy that this is happening. And it just seems like the deeper that you go in, if you pass like the first layer of memes and people joking around, it becomes this black hole of moral dilemmas and arguments. And it seems like no one seems to agree on any aspect. It seems like at some point, people start diverging in their thoughts and their moral opinions of like, okay, well, maybe some people think it's okay up until this point. Some people are like, it isn't okay up until this point. And it just goes on and on. What are your thoughts, though? Side note, Uncle Red is, if sentenced, which he likely will be, he will probably spend at least 10 years in prison, if not more, considering how strict the justice system is in China.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
But
I would not have done
what are
that shit
your
in China.
thoughts?
That's
Let me
actually
know in the
insane work.
comments.
Like,
stay safe. I will see
holy
you in the
fuck.
next one.
In China? Nah. What were you thinking? Okay, let me swap back over here. Yay. But like, no, that's crazy work. There we go. Okay. We got like 30 more minutes of stream. Yeah, usually people who are constantly freaking out about cheating tend to be projecting. Let's do that. Uncle Red, he's a hero in Japan. I mean, I would not call him a hero. Like, he was filming people without their consent, so... Like... like, that was shitty. And making money from it, yeah. Yeah. Filming people against their consent is always a no-no. Huh? What does that have to do with it? Yeah. So he was making them bring him gifts. It didn't matter how much the gifts were worth. That would be the price of them hooking up with him. So it was prostitution in a way, very cheap prostitution, but that's what it was. He was then filming those interactions and selling them on the side as well and made 30K off of that. So that's where the actual money was happening. That's why, like, a free prostitute is essentially gonna be the product. Yeah, exactly. So, very shitty. Yes, sir. You're a tiny baby. This is my favorite way to make things look like gems, is I just overlay shit a million times. Thank you! Aw, thank you so much. No one asked for a refund because... What part is confusing to you? The people who are the victims were not paying money. They were not paying money. They brought him like a watermelon or a half-used... They brought him shit from their fridge that didn't matter. It was worthless. There would be nothing to refund there. The people who were paying were purchasing the hidden footage. Why would they ask for a refund exactly? They got what they asked for. That was exactly what they asked for. Why would they ask for a refund? Also, are you insinuating that none of the people were victims because the people purchasing the hidden camera footage didn't ask for a refund? It's not how that works at all. Like, even remotely. Please be serious. Yeah, I go play it actually. That was good. Yeah. Okay. Are you okay? It's happening in Italy? Is there like Uncle Red case in Italy? Bruh. Thank you, thank you. It's funny in the sense of watching people react to it. It's not funny that it happened. Yeah. Well, it's not that there was webcam videos leaked. He was intentionally filming them on a spy camera. Like, he had a whole system. He had like a whole system where he was spying on them. So it's like a little worse than that. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna do... maybe like that. I'm trying to figure out how to do the... how do I want this to look? Okay, we'll do like this. Yeah. Okay. Okay, wait, this one. And this one. This one, and this one. That and that. And then that. Okay. There we go. Perfect. Oops. There we go. Yeah, that's what I said at the end of stream, is that the first week it's always like back and forth, so we'd probably drop down to closer to that. We ended at like 32, I think. But yeah, no, the first bit, it's the end of the month when you can really tell what the actual rank is. Cannot really tell before then. This. Okay, I think I got it. Nope, I didn't. Got this. Okay, is that nope? Okay. Is that everything? I think I got it all that time. Okay. Clear that. Clear that. Clear that one. Clear that one. That. Okay, what is even... Okay, there we go. Okay. There, that looks good. I feel like I need to blur it more though. Yeah, that's better. So do like that. All right, that's good. And then we'll make this one. You woke up in a new Bugatti? Good night, Brandon. Good night, good night. Yeah, jobs do suck. Is my cat asleep? He is. He's also down here. He was asleep. Hi, sir. He's just loafing right now. He's being a good loaf. Okay, actually, yeah. Oh my god, dude. I hate when my pen glitches like that. I still don't understand the reason. Okay, we'll do that. Oh yeah, chat, by the way, I finally watched Lord of the Rings. I have never seen it before. Mainly because the fan base is annoying. I just did the normal one. I saw all three. What do I mean, finally? Imagine you have never seen Harry Potter, but you know what it is, and you know how annoying the fan base is, but you've never read the books and you've never watched the movies. Imagine trying to get into Harry Potter, like, after everyone has made it as cringe as humanly possible to enjoy it. Imagine after that happens, then deciding that you want to go watch Harry Potter and get into it later. Really difficult to do that. It was okay. Yeah, it was okay. I mean, I enjoyed watching it because I was hanging out with my fiance, but like, yeah. I don't even mean Harry Potter because of the trans shit now. I mean like Harry Potter 10 years ago even. No. Like, yeah. It's like, it's okay. I liked it. There was certain parts of the movie that was like so fucking cringe. Elijah Wood's acting in some parts is so fucking cringe. Holy fuck. Also, a lot of it could have been, is his name Pippin? Is it Pippin? I feel like most of this was his fault. Could have been, a lot of this could have been avoided. Why didn't we get eagles sooner? What's happening? Right? Like, sometimes the face that he makes is like, are you sure that's the face that you want to be making for the emotion you were trying to portray right now? Because I don't... Yeah. But yeah. No, like, I also had my mom and dad read all of the Harry Potter books to me as, like, a kid before any of the movies even came out. And... like, so I like Harry Potter for that reason. I think if I had read the books, the Lord of the Rings books growing up, I might have liked it more or been more interested in it. But like, even as Harry Potter goes, if I'm just gonna pick it apart as a story, so many issues. So many issues. So many issues. Watching the Lord of the Rings felt like watching the D&D movie. Except that the D&D movie is like a one-shot and Lord of the Rings is a whole campaign. I feel like that's what it felt like to me. What's my opinion on Star Wars? The same opinion I have on most popular media that I actually like. While I like it and it has some great parts to it, the fan base ruins it. The retcons ruin it. People trying to go back and change shit to fit shit ruins it. The CGI ruins it. The prequels are the best. Yeah. Yeah. Like, love it, but also I fucking hate it and I can't stand it. Which is how I feel about Harry Potter or anything like that. But yeah, so Lord of the Rings was pretty good. It's not as good as people freaking the fuck out over it, but then again, neither is Harry Potter, so yeah. I feel like that's the main thing for me. It's good, but like at this point it's like so overhyped. I'm expecting like the Odyssey or something. I don't know. I don't even know. Like, it's okay, it's cute. I can definitely see as a kid this would be epic. It kind of reminds me of Narnia in that way. Sam and Gollum? What? Girl, what? Those two. Frodo and Sam make sense, but okay, there we go. God damn it. But yeah. That was pretty good. The CG held up pretty well in it as well, which, considering when it was made, that's pretty impressive. But yeah, that the one Hobbit, all of it, I was like waiting for it to be revealed that he was working with the eye thing. Kept waiting for that. I was convinced that he was gonna be working with the baddies, because like, what is even that? What is even that? What are you doing? Why are you throwing shit down a well? What are we doing right now? Like like, hello? No, literally, he was constantly getting them in trouble, like, bro. And then you want to make me feel bad when he, like, signs himself over to the annoying king? Like, I don't feel bad for him. You did this to yourself, my guy. Also, every time I saw, fuck. What's his name? Oh no. Hold on, it's gonna come to me. Gandalf. That one. I kept thinking that, like, if Dumbledore was in his position, he would have yoinked that ring up so fast, bro. Dumbledore didn't give a fuck. He would have just taken that shit for himself. He's like, nah, I got this. I got this. I'm not gonna use it. I swear I won't. That'd be Dumbledore. Yeah. Yeah. He would. Also, when it got to the, like, you shall not pass part, because that's, like, the one scene I've obviously seen, because it's a meme. I was, like, expecting something, like, amazing to happen in that moment. Bro just falls to his death. Like, not actually, but, like, bro just falls to his death. I was like, oh, okay, so that's what that is right before? Okay, that's not what I was expecting. Alright, this is pretty good. Just color this now. Yay. Or no, our chat stream is almost over. And then Teddy streams. And she's gonna work on drawing some assets for herself, because I need to get that done, and that's like the only time I have to do it. Bruh. This brush is being extra weird with blending today. There we go. Okay, and then let me see if I can let's have it be multiply. And then screen. There, okay. Boom. Flower. Yeah, I need to do like this. Yeah. That looks better. There we go. Dimension. All right. Perfect. Now we can go back to what we're doing. All right, this is his favorite gift. Make it that big, so then I can make a little border for it here. And then we do this. Boom. Outline. Yay. Well, we almost finished. We got pretty close. Oof. True. I wasn't actually on break. But yeah. why haven't I been uploading to my site? So I actually have. You probably are poor and haven't paid for it, if that's the case, and you're not seeing what I've uploaded, because I have been uploading to my site. I have been uploading. So, whose fault is that you're not seeing it? My fault or your fault for using it improperly? I don't know. Is it one singular person who's having an issue while everyone else seems to be just fine at seeing what's on my site? Or magically it's my fault and I've somehow singled you out and made it so just you can't see what I've been posting? What do you think? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, as far as VODs go, it's just time consuming. I have to like go through, cut them all up, and then upload them, but it's just had not, uploading the VODs has not been my priority. No, I know it's not my fault. I was being sarcastic. All right, let me swap screens for the end here. This is all we can do on this today, but progress. And next week we'll work on finishing that, and then we'll work on doing hers, because I gotta do hers next. Eek. Oh my god. And then we have to finish drawing this one, and this one, and this one, and then all of these, all of the rest of them. Woo! So much fun. Okay. Well, I'm gonna swap back. It's a process. A slow process. It's fun though. I'm enjoying it. And thank you. I'm not doing it. Mainly because I will forget. So yeah, this month is just Sanrio stuff. The video for this weekend I haven't filmed yet because the last 3 days I did take an actual break. Unlike the last month, which was not a break, I was just not streaming. But, let's see. Yeah, so I'm gonna be trying to get all of the, I'm gonna be trying to film a bunch of, I think I might just film all of the Sanrio videos this week. I might just film them all this week. No, mostly an actual break. I did clean a little bit, but it was mostly an actual break. Yes. Sorry, there will be no video for this week. This next week, I'm gonna be filming. Sorry, my brain is already on Monday right now, because today is basically, like, not an actual day. I just stream. So, I'm not actually thinking of, like, planning stuff as far as today goes, but, like, for me, the week's already over. The Sunday video will get posted on Monday, just because I have to actually film it, but I'm gonna film it Monday before stream. Monday's stream will be a fuck machine stream. Filming all of the Sanrio videos this next week. I'm only filming the like main characters because that's all I could find cosplay stuff for. So I don't have anything else planned. I'm just gonna do the ones that I already have put together, which is why I'm doing that. So I'm not gonna be doing any of the more rare ones. We can do like another Sanrio month where we do the rest of the characters we want. But like there's only so much time, and I also want to film Halloween stuff, so I have Kuromi that I just did. I have a Hello Kitty one. I have Cinnamon Roll. I have Pom Pom. I have Karopi. I think those are the 5 I've got for this month. That's all I got as far as outfits I could actually fucking find. So yeah, I had trouble finding stuff even for Karopi, so yeah, so that's gonna be, I'm trying to remember, I think that's all I have. I think those are the only ones I've got. But anyway, next time we do it, we can do like Bantamaru, Hangi, big challenges, top hat. We can do other ones next time. So next week I'm gonna focus on trying to film as much of those as I can and get it out of the way, and then I can start working on Halloween stuff the 3rd week of September. Yeah, because if I can get everything filmed next week, I'm going to film something Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I have 4 days to film stuff. I've already filmed Kuromi, so that gives me 1 day to film everything. I'll probably do the easiest one on Monday, so whichever one I have the least stuff for, I'll do on Monday. I don't know what the video plot will be. It won't be another striptease music video. I'll do like an actual video, but it will probably still be short just because I have to do it before stream. Dude, where do all these fucking, what about Pornhub people, where are you coming from? It has literally been 3 years. It's been 3 whole fucking years. It has been so long since I've had a Pornhub account. Where have you people been? Like, I owe nothing to fake fans. I owe nothing to people who don't even remotely try to pay attention. Like, watch the fucking video on this exact account that explains in detail what happened, or go back to disappearing for 3 years, I guess. Like, seriously, it's been so fucking long. Like, what are we doing? Oh my god, I don't understand where all these people are coming from today. Like, today specifically, there's been like 4 fucking people in chat complaining that I deleted all my Pornhub videos. Girl, I didn't delete shit. I didn't do shit. Oh my god. And it's also been so fucking long, I have an entirely new platform. What the fuck? Like, I don't even, like, you can't be like, oh, I loved your videos on porn. No, you didn't. You haven't even looked for 3 whole years. Shut the fuck up. Right? It's because I have the reputation of being, like, such a fucking sweetheart. I answer all the most stupid fucking pointless questions. Like, oh my god. Like, bro, the links are literally all below me, cycling as we speak. Right fucking there. Is Pornhub one of the links? Does it say Pornhub in one of the links? No. No, it doesn't. Like, it's my pinned video on TikTok. It's like the most popular video I have on here other than my transition video, or it might even have, I don't know, they're like going back and forth. Like, I literally have it in the description of my Fansly. Like, I don't even... Yes, I did get one. I did. It's in the closet now. I put it away. Nah, when I get banned from Twitch, I'm just gonna stream on Fansly during that time slot. Getting banned from Twitch just means another Fansly stream, because why not? But yeah, no, I'm still kind of mad at Fansly, so I'm not wearing their jacket. Because I'm mad at them. Like, it's not entirely their fault, but also I'm just mad at them for how they communicated. Still mad about that. Anyway, chat, I'm gonna go. You will see me on Teddy's stream, which I'm gonna queue up to send you guys over to in a sec here. Yeah, so Teddy is gonna stream right after me. Also, I just realized I need to put in the link for what we watched. So yeah, I will be on Teddy's stream next. She will be up in a sec here. Yes. 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 All right, I'm gonna go eat or whatever. Have a snack in between streams. And then I will see you guys later on Twitch. If you want to hang out with me only and not my VTuber, that's fine. I'll be on Twitch at 5:30. 5:30 is when Twitch starts. And maybe something else that's secret and you should not mention on Twitch. But yeah, 5:30 Twitch stream. Teddy Chan at 2 o'clock. But I will put the time, or the starting screen will go up as soon as I like end this stream. So, all right. Okay, bye. Enjoy the outro. I will see you guys in a bit.